Yo, what's up, boys and girls? It's your boy BellyDrum. So, I made it to Master Ball rank at 831 with the Wheezing team, okay? So, what I want to do in today's video, I want to be able to have another team. And this team is actually already out there. Now, there was a battle that I went against, and this person absolutely rolled me. So let me see if I can find the screenshot. So basically, it was a stockpile muck and Smeargle lead, and then at the end they used Glacier. Now this is actually pretty insane because I was not able to take out the Glacier because obviously Glacier is a tank. But what makes Glacier even better is if you actually take out one Pokemon, you get a +1 to your attack. Just with Calyrex Shadow Rider, you get a +1 to your special attack. But since Calyrex Ice is just so tanky, you can't take it out very easily, especially if it has max evasion. So what I want to do is I want to like recreate it and like get some other Pokemon. I also want to clarify that my team, my Wheezing team, was so good that I actually went up against another person that had Wheezing, Regigigas, Calyrex, Shadow Rider. They also had an Indeedee, but there was female. But mine has the strat. I just set up Trick Room and then I just after you and spam the Calyrex. And this is how we started it off. Okay, that's how we started it off, and this is how we finished it. So he had Calyrex in the back. I took out the Calyrex with my Calyrex. I had a +1 special attack. He takes out my Calyrex with Behemoth Bash, but we have Choice Band Urshifu, and then we just take him out. It's not very effective, but we just take him out. Now, the reason why I want to recreate this team is because I actually faced it on the ladder and they used a Lugia that had like +2, +4 minimize, but I was actually able to take out the Lugia. So, boom. We hit it on that expanding force. We close combat. It doesn't land. Now remember, Lugia has multi-scale, so it's absolutely busted with this strategy. So we try to hit the expanding force. We don't hit it that time. But we hit that close combat. We take out that Lugia. GG easy. Alright, so basically we have pretty much the team right here. I do have to work on it a bit before I can actually show it off. But I have to get Moody Smeargle. I have to get the multi-scale on Lugia. And I just have to do a little bit of work on it. But let me go to Showdown and I'm going to show you my set. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. So this is obviously, whenever you use a Alola Muck, you get the power of Alchemy as the hidden ability. This Pokemon copies the ability of an ally that faints. So, basically, we want to get Moody Smeargle off onto Alolan Muck as fast as possible, right? So, basically, if we're able to get our speed boost in and we set up our minimize, our stockpiles, then we can sit in Flamingo that has Co-Star. On switching, this Pokemon copies all of the ally stat changes. So, that means if we get a speed boost, then Flamingo is just going to be outspeeding, okay? But if we get a speed drop, we can also let Smeargle die, send in our Oranguru, use Psych Up to psych up the stats onto the Muck, and then we can send in Calyrex or Lugia depending. But basically, let's go over this. So, power of alchemy. gets the ability that Smeargle has, which is Moody. So we have Protect, Minimize, Stockpile, Poison Jab. So Protect to obviously protect. Now Minimize raises the user's evasion by 2, which is pretty decent, pretty good. Okay. Stockpile raises the user's defense and special defense by 1, and we can have 3 uses. But if you didn't know, if you have a Stockpile Drifblim and you Baton Pass, you can actually get up more stockpiles, so you can get +6 stockpile. Now Poison Jab is 80 base power, but it has 30% chance to poison. Now there's also talk about Poison Fang, which is only 50 damage, but has 50% chance to badly poison the target. I might do that. I could do that. That's not a bad idea. 50% chance to poison. Not bad. Alright, so let's go over the stats. So we had 236 hit points, which is 210. 8 attack. 188 defense. With the impish nature, that gets us to 130. Now, special defense is 76, which also gets us to 130. So basically, we're not trying to do damage until we send in the Calyrex or the Lugia. Okay, so our Terra type is Ghost, so that way we can take less damage from fighting types, from earthquakes, things of that nature. Now, Smeargle is actually pretty simple, Terra type Ghost, because you don't want no fighting to hit you, obviously. Now, Baneful Bunker protects from moves, and then it contacts poison. So, that's also something to be pretty weary about. Now, if I really wanted to, I could put Burning Bulwark on there. Protect from damaging attacks, and then it contacts burn. So, we could either A, burn them, or we can get the poison off of them. Now, the reason why I figured I go Baneful Bunker instead of Burning Bulwark is just in case there are Pokemon like Koraidon that goes Terra Fire, then it can't be burned. Or they go Terra Fire on the Calyrex, Shadow, or the Ice Rider, and then it can't be burned. However, I think if I go Baneful Bunker and I try to poison it, it'll make the opponent be on a timer pretty much. But that's what I'm thinking. Instead of Burning Bulwark, we just do Baneful Bunker. Now, there is also one that is not the best. So let's see, not Nug. So let's see. Silk Trap protects it from damaging attacks, contacts -1 speed. So that's not very useful because I want to set up Trick Room. So that's not going to be very, very good for us. But we have the standard Wide Guard protects allies from multi-target attacks this turn. We have Spore. That way we can get the opponent to go to sleep just in case. We have Follow Me, obviously. Then we have Focus Sash. That way, if the holder HP is full, we'll survive an attack that would KO it with 1 hit point. We have Moody, so that way we can set up like defense, attack stat, speed, special defense, defense, things like that. Now, for Oranguru, we have Inner Focus, so that way we can't be flinched. So if Smeargle goes down, and we have the power of Alchemy, and we get the Moody boost, we can Terra Ghost on the Alola Muck, so that way we don't get faked out. But we can also go Inner Focus on Oranguru, so that way we cannot be made to flinch, and it's immune to Intimidate. So that way, we're not getting no -1s or anything like that. Let's see. So Terra type is dragon. So dragon on psychic types is actually pretty decent. I ain't gonna lie. It's actually pretty useful because if they tried to flare blitz you, take you out with some type of fire move, or grass or water, something like that, then you're not going to be taken out very easily. We have citrus berries, so that way we can regain our health. Now, obviously, we have protect, so that way Oranguru doesn't go down that turn. We have psych up, so that way we can copy the stats changes to the Alola Muck. And we have trick room, so that way we can switch their speed and our speed stats, so that way we can be fastest on the field. And then we also have instruct, so that way if we're not set up at if we only have +1 minimize and we go for minimize again, we can instruct, so that way we can get +6 minimize as soon as possible. Or same thing with stockpile. And then we can also have a 30% chance to poison, and then we double it up to 60 if we really wanted to. Or we could go poison fang. That's still an option. So that way we can badly poison it. Let me see. Poison jab has 30% chance to. Alright, so poison fang looks like the better option because it badly poisons the target, and we have a 50% chance, and if we instruct, it gets another 50% chance to badly poison the target, so that way they're on the fastest timer ever. And we have leftovers, so that works. Let's see. Hit points, 244 hit points, so that way we're at 196. We have bold nature. We could go impish if we really wanted to, but bold nature is better, so that way we don't take foul play damage. We could change this to 0 speed too. Doesn't really matter. Basically, Oranguru only needs 3 to 4 IVs. Okay. Defense, bold nature 204. That's 138 defense. 60 in special defense. That's 138 as well. Let's see. So let's go ahead and talk about the Flamigo. All right. So with this Flamigo, it's Terra Dark, so that way we can do as much damage on Calyrex as possible. So if they have Calyrex Ice Rider, or they have Calyrex Shadow Rider, we can just do super effective damage on the Throat Chop. And if we get +1 speed and +1 attack, we're big chillin'. And since we're going with minimize and things of that nature, then they're gonna have like a harder time trying to take us out. Just for that simple fact. And if we go Terra Dark, they can't really do anything. Now, Co-Star on switching this Pokemon copies all of the ally stat changes, meaning whatever stat changes we get from the Moody, Flamigo is gonna learn. Now, we have Life Orb to do as much damage as possible. We have Protect to protect. We have Wide Guard, so that way we don't get into situations where it's only Flamigo and Calyrex. But basically, if there is a Shadow Rider Calyrex, we can Wide Guard on our Flamigos, so that way we can protect our Calyrex or Lugia, since they're both Psychic type. We just have that extra coverage of Wide Guard. And then Terra type Dark does so much damage on that Throat Chop. Close combat just does insane amount of damage, especially on Flamigo. I will say Flamigo has become probably one of my favorite for this generation because 1 co-star, 2 scrappy, do things like wide guard protect, close combat, and then use feint. But Calyrex Ice Rider. Okay, so this is going to be more of a bulky set instead of actually having any attack stat. So the reason why this team is just more on the bulky side is that way is because we're going to do damage eventually. We will do damage as fast as we can, right? So basically what we do is we just tank everything. We try to get as many minimizes as possible. We have stockpile, and then since they're on a timer, then we can come in on the Calyrex Ice Rider. We can use Psych Up to copy Muck stats or in Guru stats in case Muck goes down. So we do that. And if we get a +1, we have a +1 attack. Or since Body Press is based on the defense stat, we're going to try to get as many stockpiles as possible. So that way, Calyrex Ice Rider can pretty much just one-shot everything, except for ghost types. But we'll come to that when it comes to that. Basically, we have Clear Amulet, so that way we don't get our attack lowered. We have Terra type Fire, so that way we can't get burned. So that's probably the biggest thing that we need to do right now, is so that way the Calyrex Ice Rider does not get burned. Body Press and Glacial Lance are not at a disadvantage. But we have 196 in the hit points, which is 200. We have Impish Nature, 92. That's 200 defense. We have 220 on our special defense. That comes out to be 178. So basically, we're just trying to take as little damage as possible. But that's basically the Shadow or the Calyrex Ice Rider. Now, for the Lugia, this is just pretty straightforward. Just max hit points, max special attack. We have Covert Cloak, so that way Holder is not affected by the secondary effect of another Pokemon's attack. So we won't be able to get Fake Out. We won't be able to get flinched by rock slides or anything of that nature. But basically, we have multi-scale. If this Pokemon is at full hit point, damage taken from attack is halved. So that's pretty good. So we don't even have Protect on this. We have Recover. Simply for the fact that whenever we Psych Up, we are just going to Psych Up, get our defense boost, get our minimize boost, and we have Calm Mind. Calm Mind boosts our special attack and special defense by 1. So if you're going up against a Shadow Rider, you basically cannot get taken out by this Lugia. Now, there is things that we could do. We could change the Terra type from Terra Fairy to Terra Normal, because who's gonna be running Urshifu, right? Yeah, hard chance. I know that I would definitely run Urshifu. But we have Aeroblast. It has high critical hit ratio. There isn't really that much moves that Lugia learns that are good. So we don't have Expanding Force. We don't have Psychic. Or, oh yeah, we do have Psychic Noise. We don't have Stored Power. So we can't Stored Power spam, which is unfortunate. I do want to see if we have what's it called? What's that one move called? It's a dark type. It's like stored power, but it's physical. Power trip. Nope, we don't have it. I wonder if you get it. Because if you did, that's going to be crazy. Nope, it doesn't look like it. Dang. Anyway, that's basically how this team is going to run. Terra Fairy, so that way we can survive some stuff. Max hit points, max special attack. Pretty simple. But with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, share the video with a friend, link in the description down below for all my socials. It's your boy BellyDrum. Peace.